Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Stream Key Podcast. It is Friday, which means it's time for Phone In Friday. Apologies, because Skype decided that they were going to make a crazy big update and totally redesign the software today of all days. But it finally got it working, so it's looking a little bit different, but it's here and back. So we have two guests today. Of course, we have Velok TV back on the show as every Friday. How you doing today, Vel?
I'm doing great. How are you, Green?
Good, man. Good. And then we got GamerDadNC on the show, on the call-in show for the first time. How you doing today, GamerDad?
Doing great.
Awesome. Yeah, so today, guys, is going to be a slightly shorter episode of Phone In Friday. It's just going to be about an hour. So be kind of like a lightning round type thing, but it should be really cool. If you guys haven't seen the show before, the way this works is for the next hour, you can call in via Discord to talk about a Twitch-related topic on air with these guys here, Velok, GamerDad, and myself. If you can't get to Discord for every reason, you can also just type in Twitch chat or Discord chat, and we'll try to get your questions there. I know we have a couple in the Discord already waiting to go. So if you guys want to do that, you can go ahead and join our Discord if you're not in there already, specifically for the show, for Stream Key. Just post that in Twitch chat if you want to check that out. Feel free to, and join the waiting room if you want to be on the show. But to kick things off, I like to always just look back at the last week with you guys. So maybe start with Vel. How's your past week on stream been, my man?
Oh, man. So it's definitely a different week for me. I had my community actually made me a really great video. GamerDad was a part of it himself. Kind of like an appreciation video, which is really weird. And like, it totally threw me off. I had no idea it was coming. They said they were going to show me a video. I figured it was like some video from someone's stream or something. And then they showed me this awesome, very, very like, it just felt very heartfelt video of appreciation, I guess, for me. And I say that because like it's weird for me to admit. Like it sounds like, I don't know, because like I'm just not used to that kind of stuff. But I really do appreciate it, and it was really cool. And they saw me cry on stream, absolutely, 100% saw me cry.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw like some of the reaction video. I didn't get to watch all of it because I don't know how long the actual video was, but the reaction video was like an hour long, so I couldn't watch all of it at the time. But it's pretty cool they did that for you. Mm-hmm. Very cool. GamerDad, how's your past week on stream been, my man?
It has been a different roller coaster than Veli's. I do an end of the month party, and so it got really, really crazy. Had some interesting little twists, and with creative stuff, been trying to get people to promote some of my like tutorials. So a lot of people have been chipping in with ideas, and been trying to do more tutorial based content last week. So it's been fun.
Gotcha. Very, very cool. I'm looking like all the way down here because the new Skype stuff. I have to like look down here to see you guys, but yeah, cool. Sounds like some good weeks all around. Quickly before we get too many callers in here, I want to talk about sub badges because those just rolled out on the 31st, literally like the last minute they had to do it in July. They got those out. Have you guys, I know Veli has some. GamerDad, do you have sub badges on the channel as well already?
Yeah, mine were ready July 1st.
Nice.
we've been itching for it. Jim and I were making fun of Twitch a little bit over the last couple weeks on True Talk about, they said the end of July. Well, they meant the very end of July.
They didn't lie. It's as ending as they can get there. So what do you guys have as your sub badges on the channels, just to give some people ideas?
I did like all the logos that I've had throughout my Twitch career. So I did for the people who have been subbed the longest, they get my original logo, the one that Suzy QQ made for me many moons ago. And then for like the first sub badge, it's just my current logo right now.
Gotcha.
One in between.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the different, like the red, white, and blue one too. I think you have there. That's pretty cool. GamerDad, what do you use for your sub badges currently?
So my community did a contest to see a whole series of it. So they took the frame of my current GamerDad like cube, the hex looking logo, and they replaced the GD with 3, 6, and 12. So it's just very basic, but we had a couple of submissions, and that was the one that kind of took it. So it's white, and then my GamerDad blue. Huh.
That's really cool. I think especially with like a creative community, that's a cool thing to do. So very cool way to involve them. Awesome. Yeah, I just made like my tier 1 last night, which is just my like a little green music note and then a very subtle little overlay of my face. That was totally accident, but I'm definitely keeping it because it was so good. So, really excited they finally have those out though. Just more ways to reward people, and you can see we have them in the TRUgaming chat now, which is pretty cool as of like this morning. So finally getting some more stuff. And then if you guys didn't see, Twitch has also started rolling out the new channel changes. Specifically, like when you're looking at a channel, they now have a lot of the info on the left side as opposed to underneath of it. Now, this is not for everyone, and I think it's actually kind of a small group of users that can see it right now. But now, instead of having like the title, the number of viewers, the game info, etc., below the video, it's kind of like to the left if you're looking at the screen. And then there's also like a little bit of a banner, and it's interesting. I can see it on the TRUgaming account, but my personal account doesn't have it. So I don't know if you guys would be able to see it or have any viewers that have been talking about it or anything.
I haven't heard or seen it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think it sounds like they really are only rolling it out to a very kind of small group of people on Twitch right now, and it's gonna take like a couple months before everyone gets it. So it's interesting though. I don't know if someone wants to call in and give their thoughts about it. If you haven't seen it and want to see what I'm talking about, you can check the Trello board, which hopefully someone can link in the chat if anyone's watching. But yeah, I think if they keep working on it, it has a lot of potential to, like, it shows the panels more visibly on the channel, which is really cool. So you can use those a little bit more, and then like using the banner. So excuse me, using the banner on the side there. So there's more customization, which is kind of cool. We'll see if they can make it better. But I think for people who've been watching Twitch for a long time, it's kind of confusing because you can't, like, the viewer count's over here now, and then the title and the game are kind of hidden, and I don't know. It'll take some time before we get used to it, I think. But anyway, just want to comment on that one really quickly. All right, well, if we can start rolling through the viewer call-in questions here, or text questions if you guys have those. I know we have one from Jack the Streaming Snack. He asked us yesterday. Just a great name, isn't it? It's so good, so good. So, okay, he has a little bit of story to go with this. He says, after taking a week and a half hiatus from streaming, I realized I was sort of burnt out on the one game I did stream, which was Fortnite. Coming back into the streaming schedule, I know it's only a matter of time before I start to feel the same way. Because of this, I want to start streaming other games, mostly single-player games. I've always loved these games for the story. He wrote like a long paragraph here. Read out the stuff here. So basically, he's wondering, what do you think about finding someone who would normally not be able to play or explore different kinds of games and playing the game under their direction? Interesting. So I guess kind of like looking to take the stream in a new direction, but using someone else who's been there as a mentor, if that makes sense. Like maybe you've been playing Fortnite for months, but you want to switch it up into like Fallout or something, but you have no idea where to start. Do you think there's like value in having a mentor for a new type of stream? That's kind of an interesting question, especially for you guys as stream coaches, because you've kind of felt the mentorship role a little bit. Do you guys think there's basically value in looking for a mentor if you're looking to radically change the direction of your stream and something else? GamerDad, maybe start with that one.
So I guess from a coaching or a mentor perspective, it could certainly help just to know that there's someone else that's been there through it. Because I from the creative side, I know burnout all too well because I paint different figures every night. Because if I paint the same one for days, you get bored and I get bored, and then it really shows. So, I mean, I guess from that perspective, I've talked to other painters, and I felt better just knowing someone else has been there and that hearing the positivity that you can get through it. I don't know. From a gaming perspective, though, I'd probably look to Veli to be a little bit more help.
For me, like I've switched games a lot. I played a lot of single player. I started off playing multiplayer games, and then moved to a couple single player games. And so most of my time on Twitch, I've done multiplayer. But for the single player games, like especially The Witcher 3, I put in a lot of time into that game, and I didn't really see any I wasn't good at it at first by any means, but luckily that game's very long, and so I had plenty of time to figure it out. But finding a mentor could definitely benefit. Finding someone to talk to that is also playing a game that you're into would help the most, I think. So when it comes to switching from a multiplayer game like Fortnite to something that has way less going on, like The Witcher, where it's much more chill and way less things going on, so there's a lot less to talk about. It's a lot about just focusing on the things that happen in game, and just blowing those up, man. So any little thing that happens, like if it surprises you, let everybody know it. All the little things that happen in those kind of games need to be boosted up a little bit, because you don't really have that much to work with. So you need to entertain your people somehow. And there's definitely ways. It's just you have to react a little bit more than you're used to, for sure.
Right. Yeah, I totally get that. And I think mentorship in general is just really valuable for any streamer, basically. But I do think there's a lot of value, especially if you are really changing the direction of your stream into an area that you have very little experience in, and it's very different. Like, that's a great time to do a lot of research and take advice from people who've kind of been there and give you more direct experience there, for sure. He did clarify a little bit in the chat. Basically, he was saying he's wanting to find someone who can't play, like someone who is blind, apparently, and playing the game for them. So actually, this is a totally different concept, but really interesting. So basically, someone who, for whatever reason, can't play games, trying to stream the game for them, and then telling them everything that goes on and letting them control the direction of the story. That's really interesting. And I've never thought about that with streaming in particular. I don't know that it necessarily has to be streamed, but what do you guys think of that topic? That's a really interesting topic. Is basically, I don't know, there's a lot to unpack there in terms of like morally.
You're basically like doing like an audio book of a game for somebody. Like you're doing like a pick your own path book, but video game. So you have to narrate everything that's going on. Anything that's not like audible for the viewer, like you have to narrate. Like it has to be a super in-depth thing. And I think that's actually really cool. It's a really good idea. It sounds very taxing because there's going to be a lot of just talking about exactly what's going on, and not so much of it's going to be hype, but it could be something really cool and really special for sure.
That narration perspective, it sounds, to the person it's benefiting, it sounds very interesting, very appealing. Because if I know there's times where I can't watch the stream, so I'm obviously not blind, but I know I can't watch a stream sometimes. And it's difficult for me to be in one channel hearing what's going on versus another streamer who's more detailed. So I know that there's definitely a benefit in talking through what you're doing. But from my own perspective of streaming, where I'm trying to explain everything that I'm doing, it wears you out quickly, like very quickly. So
yeah, absolutely does. Yeah. But that is, I've never heard of anyone doing that type of thing before. And I think that's definitely a cool idea to stream. I think you have to be careful not to, like, to me, that's something you don't have to do while streaming. So be careful of doing that for the sake of like getting views. Like, hey, look at me, I'm streaming for a blind guy, and like kind of using the blind viewer to milk your own stream's views. Like that seems more morally risky to me. But you could probably do it in such a way that it would not be kind of tacky, be a really cool experience for everybody, and potentially give a lot to that person who for whatever reason can't do it themselves. I think it's a great, like, that's a great motivation if you can do it right, is to kind of serve someone else through your stream, through your gaming, etc. So I like that a lot.
That's really cool. Narrate everything, man. Everything. That's awesome. That's really cool.
And a lot of that happens with streaming kind of automatically, but it would be a challenge to try and do that for someone who literally can't watch. Like they can only listen to what you do. That would be, even for someone who's not, like, let's say that you're doing it just for your community in general. Like, what would it look like if I tried to make my stream something that someone who can't see anything can still understand and find entertainment from? Like, that'd be a really cool exercise, I think, too. So thank you for that question, Jack. Hopefully that kind of answers. And if you have any follow-up points or want to call in to discuss it more, please let us know. So I'm going to go through a little more of the questions here. Azamat has one from Discord who says, now that affiliates have sub badges, how do you think they could improve on showing people what they are? Do you think that this is something people will sub to you more because of? Interesting. So now that the sub badges are here, how do you think people could improve on showing people what they are? I'm trying to understand that question a little bit. But basically, the second half of that question is, do you think that people will want to sub more because of sub badges? Do you think like sub badges are really that great as a sub perk? what do you guys think of sub badges in general? You start with Velok on this one.
Yeah, go for it, Velok.
I don't think it's anything it's nothing you're gonna make more money off of. You know what I mean? It's nothing that's gonna get more people to sub to your channel or anything. What it is just a really cool way of just like giving just a tiny little something extra to your community, in my opinion. I think it's just another like tiny little thing that just makes, because the people that are there to be like, the people who sub or the people who are in your channel at all are just there to have any bit of your channel or your community or you as possible, and that's just another tiny addition to customize it to your personality. So your people are gonna love it. If they sub, I mean, awesome, they're gonna get some of that. And if they don't, people who aren't sub aren't necessarily going to sub because of this. But it's just a cool little treat, basically, in my opinion.
Yeah, GamerDad, your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Veli there. I don't see anybody subbing for the unique badge, but the badge allows the streamer to be more than just, everybody look at the stars that I have in my chat, like that's all we had. And now you get to see, in my case, the uniqueness of my community, in Veli's case, the history of Veli. And it allows for us to express ourselves, but I don't think it's a selling point to tell you to sub to the channel. It's not like they're getting extra emotes. It's just a cool little moniker kind of thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, just having one more thing in the bag of perks that you get from subbing is always going to be good. Just like more stuff you can offer to people who want to support you, but it's nothing like game changing for the channel, really. So to clarify, and guys, I want to stress, like, if you have a point or a question, like, this is why calling is great, because if we're confused about your question, we can follow up with you and you can explain it right there instead of us trying to guess what you're trying to ask. Azmat was actually talking about like how to find the sub badges in your settings, like where to put them on Twitch, because that was kind of hard to find for him and some other people. Do you guys think was it hard to find for you, or did you have to go do a little bit of digging to find where they were?
I mean, I should have just asked somebody, and then they said it's in your settings in the dashboard, and I'm like, okay. And then I went and looked at it. I'm like, it's right here. Like, I could have found this on my own. It's so easy to find. Just go to your dashboard, go to settings, and then what is it, sub badges or something like that, subscriber perks.
Affiliates and partners.
Yeah, I will say, I do think Twitch can be a little confusing in terms of like the settings versus dashboard areas, because some of those things you'd think would be in the other one, or really it's kind of confusing that they both exist in the first place. Like, why not just make them all the same thing instead of making like two different settings categories? That has actually been a pet peeve of mine. But yeah, I don't think
so. Azmat actually meant for viewers to find, apparently.
Oh, okay. This is why I need to call in, dude. If you got a question, guys, that's like somewhat confusing, call in so make sure we get it right and don't try to just guess in the dark on your question here. But what? Again, I have more questions on this. Like, what exactly is the viewer trying to find? I mean,
I think the sub badges, like your individual sub badges, maybe, like trying to see like what the different tiers are.
Oh, like what they get basically from subbing.
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there a way? I can't think of it right now. Can you tell when you're subscribing that you're getting a badge too? Because I haven't actually checked since they made the update. So
not that I'm aware of.
Interesting. That could be an interesting topic in terms of like, should the viewer be able to see more clearly like what you get for being a sub for so long as a badge?
You can make a panel.
Yeah, that's true. People have done that before for sure. But do you think maybe it should be built into Twitch? Because they do that with a lot of other stuff with like emotes. You can see pretty clearly if you sub at this tier, you get this emote. You get like these set of channel emotes. I feel like you could probably integrate it somehow with Twitch pretty easily.
Right.
So that's definitely true, I think. When you go to sub, they show you all the tiers along with the emotes you get. Yeah, Snoop was saying just the same thing. I don't know if they show you the badges though, is what I'm talking about, Snoop. Not sure. Okay, Azmat is finally here in the call, so let me pull him in here. There he is, Azmat finally coming on the show. How you doing, man?
Hello.
Do you want to clarify a bit here?
So my clarification is, oh my God, why am I hearing myself?
I don't know.
Oh, never mind. Duh.
Stream open.
Anyway, so my clarification is like when they go to hit the sub button, I feel like do you think that there can be an improvement as to putting it right there versus having to go through these subscribers? Subscriptions that you're subscribed to and then clicking and seeing the benefits versus like you just click the sub button and you're like, oh, at 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, blah, 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 I get these, because when you click the sub button, you see the emotes that you're getting. So you can see each tier based on which one you select. So I feel like on each, not necessarily under each different tier, but kind of like below that, and appears on all 3 different tiers of subscribes or subscriptions. I'm messing up with my words today, but I mean, like, being able to just flat out show them right there, like, hey, these are the ones you get. That way you don't have to worry about a panel. You don't have to worry about, hey, go here, click subscriptions, click view benefits, whatever, and find it. Because that's a little bit difficult. And because that's been around for so long, I'm just trying to figure out what you guys might think as far as like a better way to improve that. Because partners, I feel like, just kind of throw it in panels and be like, hey, this is what you get.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what we were just talking about finally at the end here. I think
Yes,
theoretically, like, I don't know, I'm not a developer, but in my eyes, I feel like it'd be pretty easy to integrate that in much the same way they have emotes shown when you subscribe in terms of what you get. So I think it's a good idea. They could do that. Yes, you could do it through a panel or something. And yes, it's there if you really want to dig. But I think making it right there, so it's just a snap decision and really easy to see, is always going to be better for, a lot of reasons. Like, Twitch makes more money in the long run, so that's a good motivator. But also just giving people more information, essentially. Mm-hmm. I think that's a great idea.
I kind of think with the subscription process being multi-platform compatible between mobile, between the Twitch app, and between like using a web browser, there's not a lot of space for them to really do it. So from a developer's perspective, that sub button in the top right on the web browser, there's too much information as it is, because they're talking about gifting, they're talking about the different prices, they're talking about Twitch Prime. I would be concerned that there's not enough space, and I'm bouncing around to a couple of partner and affiliate channels looking at how they're addressing it. And I'm seeing, like, top center panel, there's a partner just says, subscribe, here's what you get for being a subscriber, and then there's their badges. And I think with the changes coming to the Twitch page, seeing like the first panel below the screen more easily, that's probably going to be the best bet. You've got limited development real estate, and then when you switch over to the mobile stuff, it's going to be even smaller. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like making them visible to the viewer through the panels, because I'm not going to sub based on your badges. Like, I think the badges will be cool, but it's not going to turn me on or off to your subscription. Mm-hmm. So I don't need to see it when it comes to hitting the subscribe button from a personal standpoint.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think, go ahead, Val, do you want to say something on that?
Oh, you can go and I'll just throw in my thing.
You're fine. I was just saying, like, for me, I think it kind of goes back to what we just said. Like, every little thing kind of adds something cool to a subscription perk. So, like, while you might not sub for the badges themselves or the emotes themselves, having them there does make it a little bit cooler to sub, if that makes sense. I don't know what the word is exactly, but more lucrative, I guess, is the best word to put it there. I think maybe, like, while you don't sub just to get the badges or just to get the emotes, knowing that you get those things and seeing it really clearly can probably help you make that decision a little bit easier or be more excited about it. So I kind of on the side of where I think it's a good idea and probably worth it in the long run. I don't know if Velok's take on that is.
I don't know. For me, I think the chat is the best advertiser in my current situation, because I do have subscribers in my chat most of the time, I'll say. And I think that's the best way to advertise. In my current situation, not everybody's like that. Not everybody is able to have subscribers in their chat all the time. And but if you are, I think that's a really cool way to advertise it, because it just makes it like you'll see a lot of like the 1 to anywhere between 1 and 6 month sub badges. But like when a 12-month comes in there, like that's not so common, and like seeing that, it kind of like makes it a little bit more special seeing it like that. You know what I mean? Like the people who have been subbing for a long time, it just kind of makes them stand out a little bit more. Like when you don't get to see the sub badge until they come into the channel.
Yeah, I want to say really quickly, Snoopy actually just posted a picture, and so the new channel layout we were just talking about, they do show this when you're trying to subscribe. It'll show you, if you guys check the Discord, if you're in the StreamKey Discord, there's a picture there, and it will show you the sub badges for each tier. So all 4 of the sub badges if you're an affiliate, or more if you're a partner, as well as the emotes. So that's actually pretty cool. That's why probably we haven't seen it yet, but this is sort of also a view of what the new channel layout looks like, and you can see those things, and that's on mobile too, which is really good, because I'm sure it's
if they're going to do it that way, that makes a lot more sense. Looking at what I have now, since I don't have the new channel, I don't see what they have now working for what we've just seen from Snoop. This looks so much better.
Yeah, it's very clean. I like it a lot there.
Yeah, because my next question was about to be like, if you're talking about development, real estate, and all of this good stuff, like, would adding another panel be like really the best option? But
Right. Yeah.
I
And
mean,
especially
it looks like they've already fixed that problem in like the 5 seconds that we were talking about it. So
of course, right? Yeah, I think also with panels, just even though they're updating the page with the new layout stuff, I still don't think mobile users are going to get to panels as easily as desktop. Whereas like subscribing, they made very easy on mobile. So this is probably just an easier way to even show that kind of information to people who want it without having to go to like info and down to panels and find the right panel, and just makes it a lot easier for everybody, I think. So cool. Well, anything else to add to that, Azamat?
nope, I'm good. I see Di waiting on you.
Yep.
I'm just gonna bounce on out.
All right. Thanks, dude. Thanks for the call. Thanks for explaining everything.
See you, man.
No problem.
See ya. All right. Yeah. So let's grab. Oop, I moved GamerDad by accident.
Well,
You're back. Let's grab
Later.
Diebear, who's waiting as well. Hello, Diebear. You there?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Happy Friday. I'm good. I have coffee. I'm like 1 mug deep of Vlac,
There you
ready
go.
to start the next one.
Nice.
So my question this week is a small little, kind of like a noob question, I guess. So I've been getting some friend requests from people, not necessarily people that I know, and I don't really understand the benefit of friending someone through Twitch, and I also like to keep my friends list small, and I don't know, what is the purpose? Why should I do it?
That is a great topic. I'm glad you brought this one up because we've actually not talked about this, and friending is a really weird thing on Twitch right now. So I'm going to get, maybe starting with GamerDad, do you have any thoughts on friending on Twitch?
because the same thing happens with me. So I will go, if I don't recognize the name, I'll go look at the profile to see if it's somebody that I might just have forgotten their name. I don't add strangers as friends. I do know that my online friends list, which might be changing with the new format, but the online list lets me see who's watching who. So then it might be, oh, who's this person? So the friends list can help you network and help you find other streamers that your friends are watching, and maybe you have something in common. So I found some of the streamers I'm watching now and networking with now through my friends on Twitch. But my friends on Twitch are real friends that I know as either viewers, streamers, or real life friends. Like, I'm very cautious about strangers.
Sure. You don't just friend anyone. You have to make sure you know that person pretty well. Interesting.
Right.
Vel, what's your take on friends with Twitch?
I actually didn't even really think about it the way like GamerDad was just saying, but the way that I think about it is like when you're a friend with somebody, if you're streaming, it'll show when they enter your channel. It'll say, just so you know, this so-and-so is watching your channel now. Or vice versa, if you're friends with that person and they're streaming. Or if you both hop into a channel together, I think it'll also tell you who's watching it. But that's, I mean, it's not a big deal. Adding a friend or not adding a friend doesn't really make any difference, I guess. Like, you're still, I mean, I don't know. I don't see too much of a benefit of it. I stopped paying attention to Twitch friend requests a long time ago, just because I kept getting like, because people would either be like, "Hey, I didn't see your name pop up on my channel today," or something like that. So like I would get called out when I wouldn't go to someone's channel. So I was like, "Well, I was kind of busy today, man." Like, you know what I mean? So it's just it's a way for people to keep you on track. Basically, it's like kind of the way that I see it. Like, if you can't make it to a stream and they don't see your name, I don't want that person to be sad about it, so I just incognito basically is how I keep it now.
Well, if I've got somebody treating me that way, I don't want them to be my friend at all.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, friends on Twitch are weird. When they launched, they were kind of good. I used them a lot because it was new, and like it was exciting to have a new friend, and you can kind of like follow what they are watching and maybe connect with them a little bit better on a different way. But since they've launched it, I feel like friends, I mean, I've forgotten about it, to be honest. I think most people that I know don't really use that often. The most that I see out of it is if you're on the desktop page, you can see like who's watching what, like, oh, Velox watching Tim the Tap Man or something. That's kind of interesting to see, just like what your friends are watching. But that's about the only use that I've really gotten out of it. And I think, I remember them doing like, such and such is watching now. I haven't even seen that lately though. And I have a lot of friends on Twitch and I don't see it anywhere anymore. So I don't know if they just phased it out or if it's just on my end or something. But I don't know. In my honest opinion, like friending on Twitch is not that important, really. I used to do it a lot for my like close viewers and close friends, and even then, I just haven't really done anything with it since then. So I'm kind of on the side too of it's not really that important. I don't know, Diebear, what are your thoughts on it overall?
I think I'm gonna do what I do with all of my other friends lists on the internet and just keep it short and sweet. As far as TRUfam goes, I know where to find everyone because we're all in the same streams.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course I follow the people who I'm really interested in supporting. So yeah. Alrighty. Well, I think you helped me out there.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for the question. And there may be people out there that get more out of the friending stuff. Maybe we're just not like everyone else, or maybe there's a couple people who have just figured it out. It could be that like if you have maybe 10 close friends and you really just want to keep an eye on them or something, that could be helpful. But as far as I know, no one uses it a crazy amount. So
yeah, I have my gaming friends who don't stream, and so we're of course friends on Twitch. But when it comes to other streamers, I just don't see the point of friending someone who you're following and who you're always seeing every day. So
right,
because I know where to find you, obviously. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Yep. See ya. All right. That was a cool question. So
and just to add to that real quick, Green, with the changes to the panel, the way they're changing the website anyway, the people you're following and subbing to will be easier to find without them being your friends anyway. So, if it's a perspective of I want to know who's online, it's about to get easier anyway.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think there's a lot they could do with the changes they're making so far, both the channel page, and then they're still messing with like the sidebar too, in terms of like subscribe channels versus friends versus follow channels, and they keep flipping that every day. So who knows what they'll end up on, but hopefully they'll find a good balance with it. Okay, I'm trying to look through some questions here. We have another one from Jack in the Discord. I think a couple coming in from Jack actually. So let me check on that really quick. He said, with all the people watching from their communities and the True community, does anyone let people call in here because some of these are hard to read in the moment. No, I'm trying to read through here really quickly. Anyone have a person they could point me to? Oh, he's just looking for someone to work with, I guess. Interesting. Okay. Trying to read through. It's always tough to read on the moment just because you don't know what you're going to get exactly. But anyway, if you guys have a question for the show, now's a good time to answer or to ask a question either in Twitch chat or in Discord. If you can do that, we always love callers, and you get to jump the queue by being a caller. So, but let's talk about last week. Is there anything that Vel, GamerDad, you guys noticed that we haven't talked about yet on Twitch? Whether it was some other update to Twitch. One thing I saw that was interesting is that Ninja just hit 10 million followers or something. The first person on Twitch to ever do that, which is pretty crazy. So I think he was also the first 9 million and 8 million, but whatever. It's pretty interesting that there's now someone on Twitch with 10 million followers. So any thoughts about that, or just Ninja as a whole, I guess, since he is, so interesting to talk about over the past year?
My thought is I think he should share some of those followers with us.
Well,
I think it's a big milestone. I think it's exciting. Like it's kind of a celebration for him, but Twitch at the same time. I mean, we know that they get lots of people through here, but the fact that he's still on the rise, right? He hasn't gone stale to a lot of viewers, and he's still building up. And Twitch is always going to thrive based on the success of their biggest streamers. So it's like the stock market to me. To see one person's stock going up, Twitch is just really benefiting from it the most.
Right. Yeah, and like you said, like having people at the top who are bringing in more and more attention, that really does sort of spread out to the rest of the platform too. So it's good for everyone as a whole. Vel, you have any thoughts on that one?
I think he's killing it. It's fucking amazing what he's doing on Twitch. Absolute inspiration to streamers. Not everybody agrees with him being a good streamer or entertaining or anything, or even a good person, but the guy, he worked hard to get where he's at, and that means a lot to a lot of people. A lot of people that like to work hard, like myself and everything. I think that's awesome to see someone who's been grinding since Justin TV coming and making it this far, and it took him a while, and it wasn't like an overnight thing. The guy blew up, and it's because he's a a grinder for sure, and that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely is. And I think he's such a great representative for Twitch for people who are new to it, just seeing it for the first time. Have you seen like some of the events he's been doing recently? Have you guys been following that at all by chance?
A little bit.
So,
I actually don't follow him at all.
Gotcha. Well, I just like to follow like what he does because he's doing a lot of new things that I haven't seen streamers do before. So like one thing he did recently is he went to, I think like the Red Bull headquarters or something, and did some crazy stream from the top of their huge office building like all night, which is pretty cool. But then like this weekend, I think actually he's streaming from Lollapalooza, which is really interesting. So which is like a music festival that he's streaming from during the weekend, I think with artists that are music artists. I've just never heard of a streamer like streaming from a music festival. I think that's really interesting. And he's trying lots of new things that streamers haven't done before, which I think is great. So I'm excited to see what else he does. I think like his wife actually puts together the events for him to go to. So it's cool to see how they work together on that kind of stuff too. So I'm excited to see what else he's going to come up with during the rest of the year.
From a marketing perspective, he's incredibly smart, and either through listening to the right people or coming up with the ideas himself. I mean, he is definitely taken this thing to whole new places. And the great part about it is by him being successful, like I said earlier, Twitch will be successful, but at the same time, it's going to make all of us little guys successful. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Did you also, I don't want to milk this one for too long, because I think Snoop's about to come on, but do you guys see the Ninja competitive event he had a little while? This is some time ago now, but I think it was in Las Vegas, where it was sort of like an esports event, but it was centered around him. So it was like he hosted it and he played in the event with like 100 other people on Fortnite. So it was a very, I don't know if you guys follow esports too much, but it was a different concept for an esport type event where it's built around a person as opposed to the game. And you know, they play the game and he's just one of the contestants in the game, but like he'll play it, and then if he dies, he kind of commentates in the game. That event got like 600,000 people watching it, which is leaps and bounds ahead of any other esport out there. So that's just another example of, I think he's really testing the waters and seeing like what kind of new ideas can be done on Twitch, and that I'm really excited for, to see if we see more of that in the future.
Twitch's next top ninja, kind of like America's Next Top Model sort of thing.
That would be hilarious, actually. Like trying to find like the next big Twitch streamer.
Well, they are actually, I'm sorry to interrupt, but they're actually doing that like the game show thing or whatever. I don't know if that ever got anywhere. They were doing a game show where like you had to be a partnered streamer, and it was basically like they got 8 people, and it was like a game show, and whoever won it got like $100,000 for that year, so they could quit their job and try to stream full time.
Wow.
Yeah, I totally forgot about this. This was so long ago, but I don't know if they finished that or if anything actually came about with that or anything. But it was really cool to hear about, and I kind of want to look into it because like I said, I totally forgot about it. So it's like that's kind of like the finding the next ninja almost, is like that's like finding the next partner streamer who is trying to get to the next step of being a full-time streamer. You know, because if you have a whole year to do your thing and grind it out, that definitely opens up some opportunities for you for sure.
Huh. That's really cool. I didn't hear about that, but I would definitely like to see to keep doing stuff like that. Anyway, all right. So we have Snoop waiting to call in, so let's pull him in really quickly here. Snoopy, you there, my friend?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going, man?
I know how much you like call-ins.
You're very quiet. I just want to inform. I have you at 200%. You're still quiet.
You
can.
I don't know. I have my gain so high.
I don't know, man. All right, we'll just listen very quietly. What do you want to talk about in the show?
100%. Hold on here. How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Oh yeah, so much better.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, co-streaming on a regular basis. So essentially setting like 2 days a week to co-stream. I know GamerDad has some input on this.
Maybe.
All right. Well, GamerDad, do you want to start this one off?
Yeah. Without getting too much self-promotion out there, I do a weekly panel. I've been trying to change it up a little bit, but the concept is still the same. A like-minded streamer will multi-stream with me on during my regular Wednesday night stream time, and it will be creative content for us to talk back and forth a little bit. It allows cross-pollination of the communities. I've done it with people who have the same followers and people who have different followers. I will only do it one night a week. I won't go any further because I feel like beyond that, it's instead of it being a recurring event, it becomes the stream atmosphere. So it's very beneficial, but you have to make sure you know exactly who you're bringing in, because if you go blind and you're like, oh, this guy seems like he's a fun painter, he'll be cool to have on here, and then all of a sudden it is a completely different chat content and stream content than what you wanted. Like, I'm a very relaxed, chill streamer. No offense to Veli, but he gets loud, hyped up, crazy, excited.
Me?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Except for this morning, apparently, right? No. So, we would talk about that ahead of the stream to make sure that we understand from each other what's going on. I've got other people who I will never bring into a multi-stream, and it's no disrespect to them. It's just they don't align with how I'd run my stream. Like, Veli would come on because I think even though Veli is a different volume than me, we get along very well and we have similar mentalities to how we want our streams to run.
Yeah, for sure. We've had a lot of horror stories from people who've had bad co-streamers or just friends in chat who have, you think it's going to be fine, and then you get into the stream and realize it's not going so great.
Yeah.
Vel, what are your thoughts on this one?
Definitely had multi-streams or co-streams that did not go well. It sucks because you can't really get out of it once you're in there. You can't be like, all right, guys, I'm going to end the stream. I've been on for 20 minutes. See you later. And you also can't, say anything to fix what's going on during the stream, because then you're that guy who just called somebody out on the internet in front of everybody on your community and theirs. And that's not a good look at all. So it's a screening process that you have to go through for sure. That being said, I've had a lot of co-streams that have went very, very well. I know Nada TV, one of my moderators and good friends, I can stream with him, and I know I don't run into any issues at all. He's a very, very chill person to stream with. I will say it might be difficult if you try to pick someone like Snoop. You and me, if we were to try to stream at the same time, we get along very well together, and we're very similar. But I don't know if that would really go the best, because we'd both be controlling the microphone quite a bit, because we're both very prominent people.
It'd be the most American podcast ever, though.
It would be very American. It would be very free, but I think the mic would be taken up quite a bit. And I think I think we might be able to do it if we kind of talked about it first, like GamerDad was saying, and we would both have to tone ourselves down just a tad.
Yeah.
But
and just to tack on to you there, Veli. So you're in the gaming space and I'm in the creative space. There's two different, very big different mentalities in how multi-streams run. I have now started screening some of the raid candidates, we'll call them. When I get close to the end of my stream, some of my mods will go check for me, because I will never voluntarily raid somebody who's running a massive Discord stream where they've got 5 people in there, or a multi-stream, unless I know about it in advance and I know both people. Because if I'm raiding Veli, I want to raid Veli. No offense to Nada, I don't want to raid Nada through Veli, unless I know Nada. So we all know Rob. I would raid into that. But if it's someone that I've never met before that's streaming with Veli, sorry, it's not coming, because your raids are an extension of your stream as well. So I'm expecting to go to somebody that I know and trust.
absolutely.
And it's crazy from the creative side, because it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's just it's out of control to where you don't know what you're going to get anymore in a host or a raid as the other content creator.
So on the creative side, these big Discord things are happening with that as well, essentially.
Oh yeah, and especially with there's one big community that's now come out and named themselves, and there's one big stream team that's already out there. One of the streamers from this big stream team will just randomly have 4 or 5 other streamers in his Discord, and you never know who's talking. You can never get a word in the chat, and it's very off-putting. And they're also doing multi-streams. I've got 2 very good friends of mine. 2 very good friends of mine that I know on every Friday will do a stitching or I think cross-stitching stream together. I know them. You can go in there, but I could see to a stranger, someone completely new to that area, going in to see one of their streams to hear the other. It could really throw off the community, or really kind of be off-putting if you don't know what you're expecting. So the multi-stream kind of idea getting so much bigger takes a little bit more research on the outside caster coming in through that raid or host. because I don't think the original intent for a multi-stream was to be able to put everyone's content together. I think the original concept for this multi-stream approach was so me as the viewer, I can watch multiple people at one time on one window instead of multi-tabbing. So it feels different. It really feels risky to me because I don't want to raid to this third person that I don't know that's going to be dropping racial slurs and F-bombs in someone else's multi-stream, right? Like I don't want to be that. I don't want to be in that chat.
So basically, co-streaming or multi-streaming with a lot of people can actually impact your networking and how other people
100%.
interact with you too. So, maybe you're trying to co-stream for networking and trying to make these better connections with other people, but then at the same time, you could theoretically be shooting yourself in the foot by networking with the wrong people or co-streaming with people that aren't great to co-stream with. That's really important to think about too, for sure. So
one thing to say is if you do pop into someone's channel and they are allowing someone else to say racial slurs in their chat, through Discord or anything, you probably don't want to network with that person in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, that should be a given. I'm not talking about blindly co-streaming with the random follower. Though the only thing I wish is that Twitch incorporated it like Mixer does. I think that would be...
How do they incorporate it?
So Mixer, they have the ability to co-stream right through the website, but it puts everything together. So the chats, everything is on one channel. So if I was to go to Veli's channel or I was to go to my channel, let's say if we were doing it together, there's chat windows tabbed together. The videos are all tabbed to where you can go back and forth. Mixer does a great way of integrating co-streaming, they call it, instead of multi-streaming.
Yeah, that's a cool thing that I think Twitch definitely has potential for better ways for people who are from different channels to stream something together on one place instead of using third-party resources or whatever. Even if it's just pulling two channels together on Twitch somehow and like merging the chats. I think there's a lot of cool potential there if Twitch wants to go down that road and explore that. So that's a cool idea.
I love this topic. I could go on for this the entire rest of the stream.
Yeah, it's a good one for sure.
Unfortunately, I have to go shopping, but I appreciate you guys answering.
Yeah, man. Thank you for calling with the question. Is there anything else you want to
add? No. I mean, are we hyping Veli's loveliness next week?
Next week?
What's happening?
For this. I'm talking about for the phone in Friday.
Oh, yeah. Oh. So next week, if anyone doesn't know, I'm not going to be here. So it's going to be Vel and Snoop and one other person, whoever wants to join, maybe GamerDad, I don't know, whoever's around.
We will talk.
Yeah, stay tuned to that.
America's taking over.
Oh my God, I need to buy some shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in trouble.
I'm gonna go to the store right after this, possibly.
Green's gonna come back and it's gonna be a whole different show.
It's all going downhill from here.
How did my stream key overlay turn red, white, and blue?
Yeah.
Welcome to Freedom in Friday.
Oh my God, it's done. That's it.
That's
all right. See, I'm glad I could break everything. Bye, guys. Thanks.
See you, man. Thank you very much. All right, that was hilarious. Okay, so we're actually kind of wrapping up the show here because it's just a 1 hour show, remember? And we start a little bit late, so I apologize. But I think we get some really good discussions still. I want to see if there's any last minute comments here. I think it sounds like GamerDad has some bounty updates if you want to cover that really quickly here.
Yeah. So I know a while ago when Nexus came on to one of the phone-ins, it was talking about the introduction of bounties, and they were originally for partners. Like the very first release and trial of this was through partners only. Mm-hmm. They've expanded this, and I don't know if anybody realizes this. They've expanded bounties to allow for affiliates to apply. I tried it. I'm not a gamer, not a gaming stream, I should say. I am a gamer, but I applied. I got in, and it's really cool. They've got they want you to play like TV show previews, right? So all these companies are possibly throwing in YouTube videos of the next season of Venture Brothers or a movie or something like that. Try these games out. They're giving you the key to the game now. I don't know if this was what they were doing before, but you get the key to the game if you don't own the game. It's a lot of fun, and if you get the viewership to do it, you have to have over 25 average to get any kind of payout. But affiliates can now give it a shot and check it out. I would recommend everybody do it, and I can leave you the link to the FAQ or to the article, Green, if you want to put it in here. But I encourage everybody to give it a shot. It's a chance to try some of the smaller sized games, to get into that space, get a free game, try it for yourself, and have some fun with it and relax with your community. I do it at the end of my streams at night just to sit down and relax and unwind from painting. So
yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know they open it up to affiliates too.
Yeah.
Interesting. For anyone who doesn't know, the bounty board essentially is Twitch's new system where you can do something that a company kind of wants you to do on Twitch, whether it's play a game or run an ad or whatever, and you'll get a reward for that, usually like a payout or essentially, I guess, games alone to go with that. So cool system. It was just for partners to begin with. I guess they're rolling out to affiliates, which I think that's an interesting topic of its own. But yeah, we will definitely grab that link and post that in the show notes as well as the Discord if you want to get that and check it out. More ways to make money on Twitch are always good. So
Yep.
Cool. Veli, any other thoughts on that before we kind of wrap it up here?
No, that sounds really cool, and I'll have to look into it.
Sure. Sweet. All right, guys. Well, that is the show for this week. Thank you for coming out and enjoying everything. Hopefully you enjoyed everything. Velok, where can people find you, dude? Anything you want to say to them before we head off here?
VELOKK_TV on all platforms, my dudes and lady dudes. But I just want to say thank you guys. This is amazing. I have so much fun doing this every week. It's really cool, kind of breaking the monotony of just playing video games every week, or every day rather. So this is really cool, answering questions. I really like helping people out, and you guys' questions have been amazing, especially today. We got some really good ones today, and it was fun discussing it with you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely a good one today. GamerDad, anything you want to say to people before we head off here and when they can find you?
No, just everybody get out there. If you're unsure about streaming, just get out there and do it. Right, my rule is shut up and stream. So
yep,
everybody out there, just get your streams running, give it a shot.
Amen. Totally agree with that. All right, guys. Well, that is gonna be it for us. We're gonna wrap it up here, and Doc will be taking over the channel in just a couple minutes. So stay tuned. You can see those new sub badges we were just talking about in the chat already, and interact with him. He's playing No Man's Sky. So we'll see you guys next week for actually Monday will be our interview episode with Ashley Christ. So that'll be pretty cool. And then next Friday, like I just mentioned, is Velok and Snoop taking over the show. So I'm worried about that one, but hopefully it'll be all right.
You should be.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I might not have a show to come back to after the vacation. But thank you guys for coming out, and we will see you next week. Adios.